English Dictation, Charles Dickens, History of England, page 5, paragraph 3. Start now. Still, comma, the Britons, would not yield, full stop, would not yield, full stop. They rose again and again, comma, they rose again and again, comma, and died by thousands, comma, and died by thousands, comma, sword in hand, full stop, sword in hand, full stop. They rose, comma, on every possible occasion, full stop, on every possible occasion, full stop. Suetonius, spelled S-U-E-T-O-N-I-U-S, Suetonius, comma, another Roman general, comma, another Roman general, comma, came, and stormed the island of Anglesey, open brackets, then called Mona, close brackets, then called Mona, spelled M-O-N-A, close brackets, comma, which was supposed to be sacred, comma, and he burnt the Druids, in their own wicker cages, comma, by their own fires, full stop, by their own fires, full stop. But, comma, even while he was in Britain, comma, with his victorious troops, comma, the Britons rose, full stop. The Britons rose, full stop. Because Boadicea, spelt B-O-A-D-I-C-E-A, B-O-A-D-I-C-E-A, in Latin Boadicea, Boadicea, comma, a British queen, comma, the widow of the king of the Norfolk and Suffolk people, spelled N-O-R-F-O-L-K, Norfolk, and Suffolk, spelled S-U-F-F-O-L-K, Suffolk people, comma, resisted the plundering of her property by the Romans, who were settled in England, comma, She was scourged, comma, by the order of Catus, spelled C-A-T-U-S, Catus, a Roman officer, and her two daughters, were shamefully insulted in her presence, comma, and her husband's relations were made slaves, full stop, To avenge this injury, comma, the Britons rose, with all their might and rage, full stop, They drove Catus, into Gaul, They laid the Roman possessions waste, They forced the Romans out of London, comma, then a poor little town, comma, but a trading place, They hanged, comma, burnt, crucified, and slew by the sword, 70,000 Romans, 70,000 Romans, in a few days, full stop, in a few days, full stop. Suetonius strengthened his army, comma, strengthened his army, comma, and advanced to give them battle, full stop, to give them battle, full stop. They strengthened their army, comma, they strengthened their army, comma, and desperately attacked his, comma, and desperately attacked his, comma, on the field, where it was strongly posted, on the field where it was strongly posted, full stop. Before the first charge of the Britons was made, comma, Boadicea, spelled Boadicea, Boadicea, comma, in a war chariot, with her fair hair, streaming in the wind, comma, and her injured daughters, lying at her feet, comma, drove among the troops, comma, and cried to them, for vengeance, on their oppressors, comma, the licentious Romans, full stop, the licentious Romans, full stop. The Romans fought to the last, semicolon. The Britons fought to the last, semicolon. The Britons fought to the last, semicolon. But they were vanquished, with great slaughter, comma, and the unhappy queen took poison, full stop. And the unhappy queen took poison, full stop. And that's the top 2 lines of page 6. And we'll end this part of dictation now.